Cameron O'Brien let his high school buddy and his girlfriend rent a room in his house, but when Cameron's dad moved into a shed in the backyard, things went bad in a hurry. After a big blow-up, the defendants hit the road, sticking Cameron with a month's worth of expenses. Cameron Sola and Brooke Nelson never thought living with their pal would mean having to endure a peeping Tom in their own house. But when the plaintiff's father started sneaking peeks at Brooke in the shower and planting a hidden camera, they claimed they had no choice but to bail.
The guy's your best friends.
Right.
What happened?
For 4 years. Well, we lived in an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment for a year. Everything was going great. And then I got an offer from my family member to rent to buy his house that's been in my family for 4 generations. And so they moved in and they agreed to $1,000 in rent, splitting utilities.
How many months were you there?
Almost 6 months.
Almost 6 months. Okay, so you moved in. In the beginning, everything good?
Yes, in the beginning everything was
Okay,
good.
so why are you here?
Because things started getting heated. They were my Cam was getting in a fight with my dad and just getting in heated
So your
altercations.
dad was living there as well?
Yeah.
He had one of the rooms, okay.
Yes.
His dad kind of like had the air about him that he was running the house because he had like been there a long time and like it was like
Okay.
in his family's name.
Yeah.
But in my perspective, he was just like a washed up dude living in the backyard, kind of
A
trying
washed
to like,
up dude living
like,
in the backyard.
Well, yeah, and like not to try to like be too like mean about it, but pretty much like yeah, he just lived in the backyard like in this like little like separate shed area. And he would like come into the house and stuff like that sometimes, like make food and whatnot.
Yeah.
And he just like exalted himself as if he was like the authority of the house. And I felt like since we're paying like more rent and stuff like that, that he's not like the boss of me at all.
Okay, so you you got in arguments with.
Yeah.
So then Brooke got a restraining order on my dad.
What you got a restraining order on his dad?
Yes.
Why?
The arguments started increasing more and more, and eventually we did tell Cameron O'Brien that if something didn't happen with his dad, we were going to have to leave. And then after we had that discussion, his father took all of our things from our room, put them into boxes. Our room was really messed up. There's things all astrew.
Actually, I called the cops because like I came home and found our room like ransacked. So I called my dad and he's like, call the cops. So I called the cops. They come like. And they're like, yeah, pretty much you didn't have a lock on your door. So because you didn't have a lock on your door, he's totally like, it's fine. Pretty much like.
So yeah, that happened with the cops. They came in later that night. I had been taking a shower and I turned around and his father is looking at me in the shower. I don't know how long he was there for. He opened the door. It was a glass shower door. It wasn't like a curtain or anything like that. So he could see me very clearly and I could see him. And that made me totally uncomfortable to be in the house.
Well, it was a mistake. Like, I used the upstairs shower, and it was my shower, but they used the upstairs. So he thought it was me in the shower trying to give me money for rent.
I had later found out that he had set up like a hidden camera that was like facing like the entrance of my room.
Why would your dad put cameras up in a private home?
Because we felt unsafe. And
you felt unsafe.
Right, because we found him walking around the house with a knife.
That was the day after the camera, like he put up the camera.
Oh, there's a picture of you with a knife.
And then they called the cops on me for that.
Well, what do you? Okay.
You're walking towards the room. Towards our room.
Yeah, towards our room.
He's walking towards our room.
The what?
He's walking towards our room in that picture.
Yeah, and what's the point?
Of what?
Of carrying a knife.
Well, because Jerry,
you're not
honestly,
cooking there.
I was stressed out. All right, I'll be honest, man.
Yeah, his dad's
a big scary dude. And the day before that, we just had a crazy argument. He trashed our whole room, and like it almost got physical. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like
okay,
because when I came home with just me and his dad, it almost got physical. And then that was the next day I got home from work, and like I was not in the right.
Why did you stay? That would be enough for most couples to say, we got to get out of here.
For a day or two, I stayed with my parents until we could get the restraining order.
Okay, so you got a restraining order?
Yes, yeah.
All right. Was his dad still in the house? Or did he have to leave?
He had to leave the house.
Okay, so he left the house?
Yes. And that was when I returned.
Okay, so you're back in the house.
Oh yeah, we actually did go stay with friends for like a couple of days, like after that.
Okay, now you're back in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, after he's gone, we came.
How long did you continue to stay in the house after he left?
1 month.
About a month, 3 weeks to a month until we could find.
So why wouldn't he is suing you because he wants you to have paid rent for that month you stayed in the house.
We feel like we don't have to pay because of like what we went through and like.
I had to
all
file.
that
I
nothing
had
to
to
do with
file a
me.
restraining order
I had
against his
nothing to do
father.
with
And because we had to, at
He
the
did
last
nothing.
minute, find a new place to live.
He did nothing to help. He was basically like, "You guys figure it out on your own." I had this grown man
No,
looking at me in the
we
shower.
had
I had to file a
meetings.
restraining order,
You-
and I really feel that I don't owe him anything.
He's saying that you owe rent for the time that you were there. People that pay rent are entitled to be able to live in a place and not have to worry.
I have a breakdown on Exhibit A for oil, electric, and rent, how much they owe me.
That sum comes to a little over $1,800. I see that.
Right.
You owe rent for all the time you were at his place, except for that 2.5 weeks, for half a month.
I had nothing to do with it, so I'll just.
You're not the bad guy.
I'm
I
not,
agree.
so I'll just deal with it. You know, what was I supposed to do? It put me in the spot of choosing my friends and my dad. I'm being blamed for what my dad did, but I'm not my dad. I didn't do
I understand
anything.
that. He interfered in your business of being a landlord in
Right,
this
but then-
situation. Well, but they
But
shouldn't
not
have
to
to
say
pay
that
for
they
that. That's
didn't-
not their fault.
He's been one of my best friends since senior year of high school, and I never had a problem with him. And any malice that came out of our relationship, I believe, was fueled by like the heat with his dad.
Clearly, it was an unsafe environment for them for
How they
half
felt,
a month.
yeah.
I believe they're entitled to half a month off all their expenses for that half month. Say, Dad, you cost me $900. Make it up to me. That's between you and your dad. I fine for the plaintiff in the sum of $900. Hey YouTube, thanks for watching. For more Judge Jerry, click here. For more Jerry Springer, click here.